Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, guys. Hey, traders. Hey, traders. Hey, traders. Hey, traders. Hope you guys are doing well in today's live stream. We are going to be doing just a bit of a market update today, and we're going to be looking around to see what's really going on right now. We'll be looking at the indices. We'll be looking at also the silver and gold market as well too. Just a bit of a market update. We're going to be looking at the daily charts. We're going to be looking at the weekly charts as well, just to give you a bit of a market update with that there. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's today's session. It's just a bit of a market update on what's really going on in the markets right now. So hey, Yanai, I think I'm pronouncing your name properly. I appreciate that email too. I'm not sure if I forget if I did reply to you or not, but I really, really appreciate that email that you sent me. I really appreciate that. Meant a lot to me. By the way, guys, if you guys want to send me an email at all, any feedback about what I'm doing, some things that you like about what I'm doing or whatever, or any questions or anything like that, then just send it to Howell, HOWELL, howtrader@gmail.com, HOWELL, howtrader@gmail.com. And if you'd like to join my private coaching program, then just let me know. Let me know by emailing me, and we can have a chat on the phone to see if it's right for you or not. So yes, I do appreciate that. Now, once again, guys, we're going to be doing a bit of a market update today and sharing with you what I see there moving forward. But first, let me get straight into the typical disclaimer. Guys, do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There's no guarantees of making money in the markets. And it does take you a long time to become a really good trader, understanding what setup you're looking for, understanding being patient and consistency, and so much more that goes into becoming a really good trader, understanding how to read the charts properly, the mindset, and so much more that goes in what I call a master trader, or a really, really good trader in the markets. So be smart about the way that you are trading the markets there. Alrighty, guys, before I get straight into it, if you guys haven't done so, make sure you go down to mastertraderlab.com, where I'm giving away a free 3-day free trial. I'm also giving away a discount to the Master Trader Lab membership, where every month I do a live coaching session with you. And also what I'm doing is I'm also doing a bit of a special here where I'm giving away 3 or 6 massive bonuses. There's 6 trading courses. The first one here is basically the framework. Then bonus number 2 and 3 is based on helping you read the charts properly. And then also bonus number 4 is the Millionaire Mindset course, a breakthrough course, and obviously you get the free trial as well too. So you get all that. As I said before, you can try it out for free for 3 days. And if you don't like it, then guys, if you're not happy, then just let me know and you'll never be billed. So go over to mastertraderlab.com to grab your free trial to that. And check it all out. If you're not happy, let me know. You never be billed. If you are happy, then you get locked in at that $6.99 per month price. Let's get straight into. Yes, you did reply. I appreciate your help. No problem. All right, guys, let's get straight into today's session. Now, let's go have a look at what's going on in the markets right now. Firstly, let's have a look at the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones right now on the short term, over say the last 3 months, has been still on a slight downward trend. We've still got a slight downward trend happening here on the sort of the last couple of months time frame. We do have sort of that trend line there. There's no real trend line happening there at that time. Sort of last couple of months. Let's actually delete everything off the screen here. Actually, you know what? Let's go just erase all. And what we're looking at here is we're looking at, obviously, the market is we still haven't shifted we haven't still got a shift on the momentum on the downside. We have a bit of a gap here, which is really interesting, but we've got a small little pullback here, but it's not a strong pullback. We're not getting any strong conviction in a pullback. So I haven't got a signal yet to say that momentum has shifted back to the downside and we're likely to see a sell-off in the markets. That hasn't happened yet. So for me right now is momentum is still slightly to the upside, but we're definitely going through another slowing period again. So I definitely wouldn't want to be short in the market right now. One, because it doesn't meet my trading plan, and 2, because momentum hasn't shifted yet on the Dow Jones. Looking on that weekly chart though, it's really, really interesting to see where we're at right now in conjunction of this level through here. So you can see how we actually ran down through here. We created this lower low in place, and now we're running back up. We still could create some sort of lower high, and then the market starts to close down. So by looking at this weekly chart, guys, if we get a weekly close below this level through here, okay, if we get a weekly close below this candle here, then that's a very, very weak sign that the buyers are no longer raising their prices. And what do I mean by that? If you go have a look at this last couple of weeks, look at this here. Let me bring up the good old Snagger tool here for a minute. And you'll notice, what do you notice here? You'll notice how the market actually made what? It made a low, a higher 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 low, and a higher low, right? So the higher lows on the bar, on the candles for the weekly chart, had the buyers have continued to raise their prices on this weekly chart. Very, very, very strong, right? So if we get a weekly close below this candle here, we get a weekly close below that candle, then that's the one that says to me, okay, now we're getting a weekly close below here somewhere. Now we're likely to see some down action in the markets. So keep an eye on this week for that weekly close below there. And obviously we'll see what actually happens from there, whether actually we do get that or whether we continue up from here. So again, I wouldn't say, short in the market right now or anything like that is very, very risky in the markets there. S&P 500, we're actually still at the bottom of this trend line through here. And someone asked me, why did I think it was Mike, if you watch the replay or whatever, I did see that question there. Someone said to me, yeah, Mike asked me like, why did I draw the trend line here and not obviously from down here or something like that? And the thing is this, guys, is that I will draw the trend line wherever I can get the most touches of the market. That's where I'm going to draw the trend line. So it doesn't always have to be from the major high points to the major low points. So for example, this major low point through here, if I draw it up through there like that, it doesn't always have to be like, like that, so to speak. Now we can do that, and that can be in place. And you can draw the trend line wherever you. But for me, when I'm drawing trend lines, I want to have a line on the chart that tells me this is the area where the market actually finds a lot of support and resistance in the markets. A lot of support and resistance in the markets. So by looking at that and by understanding that, that's the reason why I want a trend line on the charts. Remember, a trend line is not where we want it. A trend line, support and resistance line, is there to tell us this is where the market is respecting this level. This is where the market is respecting this level. So so you don't put the trend line where you want to. You want to put it where the market is telling you. That's where we're getting the most bounces from. So that's the reason why I had that there, because we have so many bounces off this trend line that was the most valid with the recent market, with the recent market data. This trend line through here, this bottom one through here, is the most valid one that I see in the markets. The most valid one that I see in the markets. So that's the reason why I draw the trend lines from there to there, and also the same for the NASDAQ as well too. So the NASDAQ is doing that. So let's have a look at the NASDAQ. What's the NASDAQ doing on the short term? So short term, we're getting, all right, so if we have a look at short term, so if I draw a trend line from there to there, isn't that interesting? Look at that. So support, it ran up, and now it's actually rejecting it off there. So there is something going on through here, isn't there? Let me just see if I can. Again, guys, all I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get the most touches out of this trend line through here. The most touches, that's all. So it's probably somewhere through there. You know what? There's no real valid trend line going on through there right now on that. So I'd actually probably just leave that alone. Yeah, there's nothing really. Yeah, there's nothing really going on through there for me. So on the short term, guys, on the short term, we have had a little bit of a pullback through here, but we're still getting momentum is still pretty strong on the upside. Go back to that weekly chart once again, and you'll be able to see, same for the Dow Jones, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and a higher low on the actual candles for this weekly chart. So a weekly close below 7,000 is a very weak reversal, and then we're likely to see a bit more downside to come out of that from that there. So that's what I'm looking at there, guys, on the indices right there. Let's go have a look at the silver and gold market and see what we can see through there. So on the short term, in the last couple of months, we're still getting a very nice upward trending momentum here. Nice little higher low, another nice little higher low, and the market is still going up. We're going through a bit of a time phase right now, which, remember, guys, a time phase is when the market is having a pullback against the underlying direction of the trend. So if I have a look at this here, so this point here was a time phase, and this point here is a time phase. Time phase simply means it's just having a bit of a breather from the trend, right? Because when you're going with the trend, you're using energy. When you're not going with the trend, you're generating energy. We're just getting ready for another run. So, so that's what's happening right now on the short term on the gold price. Looking at this weekly chart through here, we're definitely getting a nice. We're definitely getting a nice rally up out of this on this here. We definitely have a bit of support and resistance going on through here, which is actually really interesting how we've actually closed above that level there. And so it does look like that gold may be trying to run up to, interesting. Gold looks like it may be trying to run back up to that level through there. If it holds this level through here, and we hold this level through and we break the previous highs, which was this high back here, if we break this previous high, then we're probably going to have a really good chance of gold running back up to that 1350 level. Interesting. I didn't see that. So there you go. That's the reason why you always do your analysis based on what the market is telling you, not what you think, hope, or fear. So there you go. As you can see, right, guys, like I'm just doing my analysis right now like I would normally do, but I'm doing it in a live session for you guys. So you can see what's happening through there. So if we hold here and we continue to break above the previous highs, then we could start to see a nice rally back up towards 1350. Now, if that happens and we break it, then that's when we can start to see the start of a nice serious bull market. Now, remember, guys, please remember, okay? Please remember this. A bull market does this. A bull market does this. Runs up, pulls back, runs up, pulls back, runs up, pulls back, runs up, pulls back, runs up. Okay, that's what a bull market does. It doesn't do that. Okay? So just don't think that's going to happen. Because if that does happen, like natural gas, like Bitcoin, like other markets that do that, comes down pretty quickly as well too. So just be careful of that. So if we do eventually break up out through here, we're likely to get some sort of a pullback, and then we're likely to rally up. So if it does break straight away and there's no entry signal for you, don't be FOMOing in the market, think you got to get into it as the market's running off, running on. Because if you get in, we're probably going to get in on up here somewhere, have a nice pullback, and then it's going to go for another run. All right. So don't be trying to FOMO into the market, because firstly, no one knows what's going to happen. But if we do break that level there, so really, really interesting to see what's happening on the gold market. Let's go have a look at the silver market here. So let's actually delete everything off the screen here for a minute. On the short term, what are we seeing? We're seeing a nice little higher low, and possibly another nice little higher low through where we are right now. So really, really interesting to see what's happening there on the silver market, which is once again, we're still in a nice upward trend. If you look at my moving average, see how it's nicely pointing up through there, nicely pointing up. That means there's strong momentum behind the short term. So that's what's happening through there. If I look at this weekly chart, and then once again, I do the exact same sort of trend line analysis, we can actually see, look at that. That's sort of very, very, very similar to gold, right? Now we actually have a bit of support and resistance line going on through here. But if that doesn't, if we break above this previous high on, now we've got this trend line coming down through here as well too. So somewhere through there, I'd have to say somewhere through there. So we've got that trend line coming down through there as well too. So that's where it's actually, you can see there's a lot of resistance on the short term on this weekly. Look at all this weekly resistance through here, support, should I say. Now it's finding a lot of weekly resistance through here as well too. So as you can see, right, by looking at this weekly resistance here, that's the reason why, guys, it's always important to look at the higher time frame. So if you trade the daily chart, always look at the weekly chart for this level. If you're trading a 2-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, always look at the 15-minute chart for these levels here, because I guarantee you, even if you have a really nice entry signal, you're not reading that higher time frame properly, because you might get a nice, good bullish entry and it's right at this support level or resistance level, very low probability trade. So if we break above this level here, then it does look like that we could start to run back up towards this probably 1720. Oh, sorry, 1725 level. So back to silver and gold here. If I squeeze my chart up, then that's what's probably likely going to happen. We had a lot of resistance here. So depending on what happens with silver this week here, if we do start to break above 1625, then it looks like it's going to be pretty, it's what we call white space, where there's no resistance between probably 1725 and that. It's probably going to have a nice run back up towards the 1725 level. And then if that breaks, then now we could start to see, same with gold, that we could start to see a nice bull market starting. Now the bull market hasn't started yet, and we still could potentially have another leg down. So don't be trying to FOMO in the market and all that sort of stuff. There's going to be plenty of time for you if you want to get into the silver and gold market. So that's what I'm seeing through there. Let's go have a look at the SIL here, which is the silver ETF. Very nice bullish, very, very, very nice bullish market up through here. We've got a low, we've got a higher low, nice good bullish upper, and then a nice run up. We're now having a nice pullback through here as well too. It's a very weak pullback. So looking very, very strong through there. That weekly chart is still concerning me, because we're definitely not breaking above that 30 level there. So it's still definitely concerning me through there. And also the GDX. Let's have a look at the GDX on the daily chart. Once again, very, very, very strong market through here. Very strong market. We've got a low, we've got a high low, we've got a nice strong rally up, and now we're getting this very weak pullback. It's not a strong selling pullback. It's a very, very weak pullback. So that's actually very, very, very strong side for a potential continuation move in the markets. And if we go down to the weekly chart, we can see the reasons. If you look, see this here. If you look at this here, it's like if you look at this here, right? You say, okay, why did the GDX actually just stop there? This is why it's so important to go to the higher time frame, because if you go to the higher time frame, look at this. You can see how that it didn't get there exactly right, but it almost got to there, and that's the reason why it paused there, because there was a lot of resistance around there. If we break this 23 level, then if we break this 23 level, let's go back to the daily chart here once again. We break this 23 level, then it looks like it's pretty free and clear to run back up towards that 25 level there. Now, if you guys remember, right, I said last week that I do now have a target on the GDX of 25 on there. So it's really interesting to see that's what's happening in the markets there. So there you go, guys. There's a bit of a market update. As you can see, what I'm doing is I'm reading the charts. It's like, okay, market, you tell me what's going on right now, and what's really happening with these markets, and how do we move forward with these markets. And by just and as you can see, right, everything I said there, 99% of what I just said was from the market itself, from the chart itself. From the chart itself, from the chart itself, from the chart itself. The charts, right? The candles, as you can see, right? Candles are open, highlight, close. It doesn't matter what you use. I don't use candles. I don't read candles like people read them, hammers and bullish haramis and golfings and all that sort of stuff. I don't use it for that. But you can see I just use it for mainly looking at the flow of the market and so on and so forth. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, then let me know in the chat box, and I will be gladly to help you out. And in the meantime, guys, if you haven't done so yet, in the meantime, let's go. In the meantime, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you head on down to mastertraderlab.com to grab your free trial and all those, I think it's like five trading courses as well too, and to get onto my next live coaching and training session as well too. If you like this sort of stuff, then you'll want to join that Master Trader Lab so I can help you every single month as well. Let's actually get straight into questions now, guys. So let's actually get. Alrighty, cool. Brendan. Hey, Brendan. How you doing, man? Hey, John, do you position your shorts before 1,000 point drops like January? Or is it hard to see that coming? If only I could see that coming, I'd be like loading up my entire account on it. No one can see that coming. No one can see that coming. Now, there are certain things that say that we're likely to get a strong sell-off. Yeah. There were certain things in the markets by reading the markets and reading the charts and so on and so forth. So there were certain things in that to tell me that, yeah. But no one can really see how much of a point we're likely to get rise. If you go back and watch my session based on last couple of days, I think it was yesterday actually, I did a session on a couple of days ago I did a session on basically on price and time. If you go watch that session, then the time factor can generally give you a good guidance on we're likely to make a nice decent move in the markets, but you can never tell how far or how long the move's going to be. Bearish candle in the weekly charts. What market is that? The gap has to close. That's a long way down on the XAU. This gap here, by the way, Michael, that's a data problem. That's nothing there. This is actually what it looks like on there was no gap there. Michael, that's a gap in my data there. So that's the reason why it's a gap in the actual gold price, but it's obviously not a gap in this price here. So yeah. Hi everyone. CTMA, good stuff, mate. I'm thinking big sell-off soon on everything except metals, natural gas, cryptocurrencies. Do you have any thoughts on natural gas? Why are people so interested in natural gas these days? It's in a downtrend. The sellers are in control. Why are people so interested in natural gas? It's going down. Don't try and buy it. Don't try and don't try and buy it right now. That's what my thoughts are. Like, don't touch natural gas. Yeah, it's just really interesting to see that. Now the thing is that what you said right there, CTMMA, is this. You said, good stuff, mate. I'm thinking anything after that is just a load of waste of time. Because I'm telling you right now, whatever you're thinking is probably not going to happen. If the charts say, hey, look, this is what's happening right now, we're likely to generate blah, 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 all that sort of stuff, then yeah, then focus like I'm talking about right now, right? Like when I'm looking at my silver and gold and I was doing my silver and gold analysis today, you can see that what am I doing is I'm just saying, okay, market, you tell me. Because whatever I think or hope is going to happen never happens. Actually, always the opposite that happens. So, yeah, just be careful who you're listening to as well too. The charts, the market is the truth. That's all. And if you just focus on the charts, a lot of people have been saying cryptocurrencies are going to explode for quite some time. And if you guys have seen my sessions the last week, and if you guys are following me from last year, you know I shorted Bitcoin and I called that basically that big move down. Call it a crash, whatever you want to call it in Bitcoin. I actually shorted that and made some good money from it, because I saw that coming. Where everyone was saying buy Bitcoin, I think I was the only person shorting it. This is awesome info, JH. No problem, Nick. Hey, Nick, my man. I tell you what, Nick. This last week, I've really brought out the big guns, haven't I? This last week or so of the information, I'm just like pouring it out there. You've been all over this, so awesome, man. Well done. And just like going haywire with all this information. And as you can see, guys, right, this is not from a book or a teleprompter or anything like that. This is just for so many years in the markets. What is my thought on WFC? Wells Fargo. Well, firstly, my thoughts, you know what I'm going to say if you've been following me. My thoughts mean jack shit. They really do. Because what I think is like, yeah, whatever. What's happening with this market is that the market is clearly is still in a downward trend. Low, significant high, lower high. As you can see, significant lower high. And now we're making a significant lower high. So the sellers are still definitely in control majorly overall. And it does look like that Wells Fargo is probably going to head back down to that 40 level. What's happening right now? So but that doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. We could hold here, we could pause here. That's my thoughts on it. That I have no idea what's going to happen with it. So yeah, so all right. Oh yeah. Okay, so you're saying the Dow Jones, the SPY. Okay, so we look at the SPY. No, that's not a bearish candle. That's just indecision. It doesn't mean it's a bearish candle. Like if you think that that's actually a bearish candle, that's not a bearish candle. So that's not a bearish candle. That just simply means like indecision, right? Like just because we get a what they call like a doji where it opens and closes at the same spot, just because you get that, that doesn't mean it's going to sell off. So you want to see the market sell off first. Interesting. In the USD chart would be interesting to see a positive sign. Yeah, possibly. Let me go to the USO, which is I know that's oil. UUP is that. Yeah, so look at this here. Look at this here. Low. So we did come down, didn't we? We created a low, a higher low, and now we're breaking past these previous highs again. So the US dollar is looking strong once again, which is really interesting. US dollar is actually looking strong. And if you actually look at this weekly chart, what do we have in this weekly chart? Low and a significant higher low, don't we? So that's basically what's happening right now in the UUP. So yeah, so Christian, John, I signed up to last week to your training program. Visit through the website. After I paid, I cannot access it through your website. How am I supposed to access it? Christian, you would have got an email. And if you don't have the email, you would have got an access to the membership site. If not, just to email me. Just email me, and then I'll be able to help you out there. So help@mastertraderlab.com. If you want that help, there, just help@mastertraderlab.com, and I'll sort you out later on when I check my emails there. John, I stopped watching these YouTube videos. I realized that it hurts my trading. I watch only charts, real videos. Fantastic. That's what you want to see there. It's all in the market. It's all in the charts. The charts are king. Hi, John. All markets, massive drop coming. Lows will be last week of February. Okay, that's what you think. That's what you think is going to happen. And all I'm saying right now is that I would not be trading based on what you think is going to happen, because it may not. It may not. And you've always got to be aware of that, guys. Okay, you always got to be aware of that. It may not. Hi, Joe. Yeah, Christian. What about Netflix? I'm not sure about Netflix. Netflix is actually looking pretty strong right now. So Netflix has actually had a very nice strong move up, and now we're just going sideways through here. So Netflix is actually looking really strong. So we could actually get some sort of a pause action through here. And then we could start to rally back up again. We've broken past massive support and resistance levels through here. So yeah, I wouldn't really want to be touching that. Oh, firstly, guys, remember, I don't ever get into something because I just think it's a good idea. And most people say, what the hell do you mean? I have a chart set up, and that's all. I have a trading setup, and that's all I trade. So even though I think something may look really, really good on the charts, I've learned my lesson to not take anything apart from my trading setup. So yeah, so I'm sorry, I meant the QQQ and the okay, so the DIA weekly chart. Yes, same thing, DIA and the QQQ on that weekly chart there. That's definitely not the same thing. It's definitely not a bearish. They're not bearish candles. They're just they're open and closing opposite thirds indecision. US affected by, okay, thanks. Excuse typos. Typos allowed, my man. If you go to my website, you'll see massive typos all over the place. I don't care. Any comment on LULU? Looking very strong, actually. Looking very, very strong. We've got a nice bounce off this moving average, looking really strong through here. We did have a significant area through here of support and resistance. Very strong move up, getting a nice pullback through here. So if we get say another week of pullback through and then we break out, this is actually looking very strong. I'm not telling you to go buy it, okay? I'm not telling you to go buy it. You would only enter a trade based on a proven plan for yourself. If you want to be in this market for a long time, guys, you must have a proven trading plan. Or what I'm trying to say is a proven trading setup that you believe in. Not because someone said it was good, but you've done the work. If you want to be good at any profession, you must put the work in, guys. Please remember that. There's no get rich quick out of this. Please. Thanks for reply. Good points. Do you advocate more day trading or swing trading in the markets, acting the way that they have the last few months? CTMMA, the answer to that is that it doesn't matter what the market is doing. It's what you can consistently do with the proven trading setup that you've got. So firstly, what I say is that whatever you can consistently do on a day-by-day basis, with your trading, that's what's most important. Forget what the market's doing right now, but whatever you can consistently do. Meaning like whatever time frame that you consistently, put into it. Because there's no sense me saying to you, CT, MMA, that intraday trading, day trading, getting in and getting out on a shorter time frame, maybe a 2-minute chart, a 5-minute chart on say the futures of Forex, or maybe it's like a 15-minute chart or an hourly chart on the stock market. There's no sense me telling you that if you can't be consistent and doing trading certain times every single day. So it's based on what you can consistently do every single day is what's going to really, really, really help you out there. That's what matters. Because it doesn't matter what the market's doing right now. There's opportunities everywhere. Just because the Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ are doing something, guys, there's thousands of other stocks out there that are not doing exactly what the Dow Jones are doing. The Dow Jones, S&P 500, and NASDAQ are not the stock market. Okay? They're just the indices. I just analyze the indices today. You can start to go deep and look at the other markets there. Any thoughts on AMD? Very, very, very sideways, slow action. Not much happening, just very sideways. Not much happening there. So, no thoughts. No thoughts. We're starting to get a bit of a nice push higher high. So this could be some sort of higher low through here, but yeah, there's nothing there. Thanks, JH. No problem. Key $18.50. Cool. Alrighty, traders. So if you'd like to get a live coaching session with me every single month, and also get access to some training as well too, then head on down to mastertraderlab.com. Go to this page here. You can sign up for free for 3 days, test it all out, and I'm also giving away. Got these first bonus here, 2 chart reading courses as well too to help you there. The Millionaire Mindset Breakthrough course, and obviously you get the free trial. And if you do stay a member, then it's only $6.99 per month. The original price is 79 cents. So head on down to mastertraderlab.com right now, guys. Grab your free trial, head in there, and I look forward to seeing you on the next live coaching and training session that I do in that there. So, all right, guys, that's it for me today. Have an amazing day, and I will speak to you soon.